About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I did my first ever inlay. It was with an old face grain cutting board that I've had sitting around for years. I'll leave a link to that video down below if you want to check it out. After doing that inlay, I started to do a lot more research. And I wanted to try another one, but this time I wanted to do an end grain cutting board. I saw a video where Nick of Browenwood did a review of the cutting board inlay kits that are sold by Ryan of Cutting It Close. Nick had lots of good things to say about those cutting board kits, so I decided to order one and have a go at it. The inlay kit that I bought was a walnut cutting board with a maple inlay blank. I didn't want to try anything too crazy to start, so I went to Nick's website at browenwood.com and purchased a file from him where the difficulty level was normal. My first impressions of this inlay kit are very good, and as you can see, the individual blanks are all shrink wrapped. They are square and flat and ready to use right out of the box, even after sitting in my shop for a week and a half. I used my dog holes to set up my fence so that my blanks will be in exactly the same place every time, but I'm going to set my work origin in the center of the blank. I'm going to run the pocket clearance toolpath first. I'm using a 1/8 inch upcut spiral bit at 16,000 RPM with a feed rate of 50 inches per minute, a plunge rate of 15 inches per minute, and a depth of cut of 0.236 inches. After the clearance toolpath finishes, I change the bit to an Amana tapered ball nose bit that I have listed in my tool database as a V-bit with an included angle of 12.4 degrees. I'm running this bit at 12,000 RPM with a feed rate of 30 inches per minute and a plunge rate of 40 inches per minute and a depth of cut of 0.295 inches.
Yeah, success.
With the pocket all cut, now it's time to run the plug from the maple blank. I'm starting with the clearance toolpath again, running the same 1/8 inch spiral upcut end mill at 12,000 RPM with a feed rate of 40 inches per minute, a plunge rate of 30 inches per minute, and a cut depth of 0.295 inches. With the plug clearance toolpath done, it's time to load the same Amana tapered ball nose bit with the 12.4 degree included angle and finish up the plug. I'm running this toolpath at 12,000 RPM with a feed rate of 30 inches per minute, a plunge rate of 40 inches per minute, and the depth of cut is 0.295 inches. Once the final plug toolpath is finished, I spent probably an hour and a half or so cutting out all the little fibers that were not cut but just pushed over by the bit. It's important not to rush this part or your inlay plug will not fit properly into the pocket. With both pieces cleaned up, I'll take the plug over to my bandsaw to cut it out of the blank, and then it will be ready to glue it in. You don't want to skip on the glue here. You have to make sure you get the glue down into the bottom of the pocket as well as on the sides. After getting the plug tapped in, it's time to let the glue dry overnight. When I took it out of the clamps the next day, I noticed that it had bowed up a little in the middle, so I had to wait an extra day to let the blank flatten back out. Then a couple hours of sanding going through the grits, 80, 120, 240, and then 320. After sanding, it was time to put in the juice groove, and I have to say the pucker factor was pretty high at this point, as it was looking pretty good and I didn't want to mess things up now. For the juice groove, I used a white side 3/4 inch round nose bit with the 1/2 inch shank. I didn't take a very aggressive cut, I just went slow and easy. And finally, the last machining operation was to flip it over and cut some handle pockets. Then, after a little more sanding, it was time for the money shot.